Well guys, it's 2019, brand new year, brand new me, but you know what that means, brand new films. But before we talk about the new films, let's look at 2018 and look at my best films, top 10 of 2018. Hi there, Stephen, and you're watching So Geeked About Movies, and as I said, we're going to talk about my best films of 2018, just the top 10, and go through the list of them and tell you why I thought these films were the best. Now here are some rules before I talk about the list there. So number one, no Netflix movies. If it wasn't on the screen, it doesn't count. Number two, if the film came out in the States last year, in 2017, and it came out in 2018 in the UK, unfortunately I can't add them to the list. And number three, I have to have seen the movie. Unfortunately I didn't get to see every film that's come out, but the ones I did see, obviously those ones I'll talk about. So let's begin with our first one. Number 10, well you guys probably guessed it, but you know this was going to be a list at some point. Black Panther. Wakanda forever! This film wasn't just a movie, it was an event. I've never seen anything like this before, especially going to the cinema. First time I saw everybody in traditional African clothing in the cinema to go and watch a film. So that was just that alone was just an experience on its own. The film itself, not the best comic film of all time, but it had elements that I will always remember and cherish. Going back to the tribes, to Hey Auntie, everyone in the film was amazing, except for actual Black Panther himself, but that's for another story. Number 9 is Searching. Now this is a film a lot of people haven't actually seen. It came out in the cinema around September time and it kind of went very quickly. It's a found footage film. It's the film that I wanted Unfriended to be like. So it's got very stuff to do with computers and laptops and phones. And it's to do with somebody's daughter that goes missing. And he has to use his laptop and his wits to try and track her down and find out, hopefully, that she's alive and not dead. This film had me on the edge of the seat the whole time. I was worried all the time, suspense throughout the film. The actual mystery at the end, the actual conclusion was perfect. It couldn't get any better. There were some weak moments, some really poor acting, but I enjoyed it overall. So number 8 is A Simple Favor. Now this film is Paul Feig's redemption after doing the not so good Ghostbusters in 2016, but he's come back now with a thriller / comedy. If you've seen Gone Girl, which was with Ben Affleck, it's kind of similar with that, but it has more of a dark comedy element to it. The film was superb. Anna Kendrick, who's not usually my favorite actress, really showed herself in this film. The twist in the film, it just goes all over the place. You don't know where this film's going. My anxiety was off the roof watching this film from start to finish. So it's one I definitely recommend if you haven't seen it. So number 7 is Assassination Nation, which is a film I never thought I would actually see. It's got kind of an indie film. It's the film that I always wanted The Purge to be, because I never liked The Purge films, but this one had a very interesting premise. So what would happen if everyone's phones got hacked and everyone's dark secrets all came out for everyone to see, and who would get blamed for it? There is a very strong feminist movement in the film, which gives a really good message as well. The direction, the editing in this is superb. It's very unique, and I don't know how they're able to keep up with the pace. So it's not a film for everyone. There's a lot of violence, sex, drugs, talks about rape and inequality. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of controversial stuff in the film. But if you get past all that, it's a film definitely I recommend everyone to see at least once, especially if you're part of the feminist movement as well. So number 6 is Creed 2. Did you think it was going to be lesser there on the list? It was definitely going to be on this list anyway. This was a great sequel. On paper, it shouldn't have worked, but it did. Great performances from Michael B. Jordan as usual. Sylvester Stallone, amazing. The guy who plays Ivan Drago was absolutely superb. He actually had a lot of depth into his story. It's one I definitely recommend you go and watch, especially if you love the whole Rocky series. It's up there. I still can't decide if Creed 1 is better or Creed 2 is, but it's definitely up there, and it's definitely one you need to watch. And if you're like me, grab your tissues because you'd be crying by the end of the film. So check it out. Number 5 is a film that a lot of people are going to be disappointed that is even at number 5 and it's not higher, and that's Avengers Infinity War. Yes, I know you're thinking, why is it number 5? I'll tell you why. The film was good, it was amazing, there was everything that we've been looking for the last 10 years. It lived up to it. Unfortunately, the reason why it's not so high on the list is because it didn't have the same emotional punch that I wish it did have, especially because we're so aware with the internet what they're going to do with the MCU movies, from the sequels to what's going to happen in 2020. So, but when they had particular scenes, no spoilers, it didn't resonate with me as strong as it should do. Obviously, Thanos was superb, one of the best villains they've had in the MCU universe, and probably one of the best CGI characters seen for a very long time as well. If you've not seen it, I don't know where you've been, but you definitely need to go and check it out. Only one advice is, if you haven't seen the other films, you may feel a bit lost of what's going on. Besides that, it's still a fun comic movie to watch, and it's one definitely recommended. Number 4 is Mission Impossible Fallout. These films have just got better as they've gone on. Tom Cruise is a maniac, but we love him to watch him on the screen all the time, especially when you hear stories about him breaking his ankle and still continuing the show he did in London. But besides that, it's one of the best action films I've seen in the last 10 years. It was just action-packed throughout the film. It was just crazy, just loads of explosions. It was brilliant, everything from the start to finish. Story is a bit weak, but the action alone just keeps you at the edge of your seat the whole time. So that's another one I definitely recommend again. If you haven't seen any of the Mission Impossible films, then check out the other ones beforehand. And yeah, we're looking forward to more films with Tom Cruise. As long as he's alive and making these films, I'm down to watch. Number 3 is one that came out just literally in December, so it was a late one, but it still has a big impression on me, and that's SpiderMan Into the SpiderVerse. Now, this is a film that we didn't really have much faith in. The trailers looked amazing, but because we knew it was from a Sony property and it wasn't to do with the MCU, we were a bit skeptical, especially with films like Venom, which is not on this list, by the way, not doing so well. But this film just surprised the hell out of me. Best animated film, definitely the last 10 years. It's spectacular from start to finish. If you're a big Spider-Man fan, you will love all the references from the cartoons to the comics to the TV show, even from the Sam Raimi films. They make a little nod to Spider-Man 3 film, which was hilarious. It brings a new character to the US that no one's seen before. If you're skeptical because it's an animated film and it's for the kids, it's for everyone. There's a lot of things in there that a lot of people can get behind. There's a lot of the action as well. There's one scene that almost got me choked up into tears from animated films. When you've done that, you're definitely going to be in my top 10. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go and watch it. It deserves all the praise it's getting at the moment. Check it out. So number 2, now this one was tough because for a while now, well, the last maybe 3 months now, number 1, number 2, I've been battling, juggling which one to do, but I've made a decision. Number 2 is Sorry to Bother You. Now, this is a film like no other. It's very unique, has a very good, interesting premise, which a certain particular race can relate to. But besides that, on its own, it's the most craziest film I've seen this year. Just really random stuff happened from start to finish throughout the film. There are scenes where it makes you think about life in general and think about us as a society. Very great acting in the film, great premise, as I said before. Definitely go and check it out. It's like I said, it's not for everyone because it does have a very indie feel to the film itself, but it's one I definitely recommend to anyone who is a film lover, especially for a particular race, which I won't say who. But yeah, definitely check out the film. So before I review the best film of 2018, my number 1, here are the honorable mentions. So these films were great, but they just didn't meet the cut, unfortunately. But these are films I definitely recommend for you guys to watch as well. So if you haven't seen any of them, definitely check them out. So here is number 1. So number 1 is Bird Box, i.e. A Quiet Place. Now, yeah, I did a little jab there. Bird Box, the fake Quiet Place it was. But anyway, that's for another story. A Quiet Place was amazing. It's still been number 1 all these months since it came out. I'm not a big fan of horror, people know that already, but this film was just something I've never experienced in the cinema before. Now the whole, if anyone's not aware of the premise, is very similar to that other film that came out. If you make a noise, you may die. So it's very similar to like that other film that's on Netflix, I think it is, somewhere there. Anyway, yeah, so I've never seen people in the cinema react like so engaged into the story. So everyone is being quiet, from coughing quietly to eating their food quietly, making sure if they're recording their Snapchat, it's not making any noise. Everyone was completely silent. The story was interesting as well. There was little hidden gems throughout the film, so many Easter eggs. It's a film if you have not seen, you need to watch, especially if you've seen that other movie. Yeah. Watch the real one. Quiet Place, #1 of 2018. What was your favourite films of this year? Are they on this list? If they're not on this list, comment below. Remember to like, share this channel. Remember to stay blessed and stay geeked.